That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Tye Richardson. He is the host of the Morning Rush on ESPN Arkansas. Tye, how are you this morning?
Good, Ravi. Good, DB. Yeah, just downtown Omaha, past the team hotel, ready for this game tonight. I'm kind of expecting a rain out, unfortunately, kind of like last night. I think we might be playing into Wednesday morning, unfortunately.
Hey, this is interesting too, Tye, because I was joking, but it's of course pretty realistic. Before the game yesterday, we were talking with Kendall Rogers, and I think a lot the sentiment was, okay, if anybody's built to come through the losers bracket, especially with the low pitch count from Root, it would be Arkansas. And then we get to Jim yesterday, and we'll get to the specifics of that later. And you could potentially get a little extra rest in your wildest dreams. Did you actually think if you were going to plus minus this thing that you could be a +1 in terms of arms rest after the opener against LSU this weekend?
Probably not.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, it was so unexpected yesterday. Gage's performance. He's an Arkansas kid, Batesville, Arkansas, home of the Pioneers, and I mean, so LSU and Arkansas heading into the matchup, it's like, okay, if one of these teams loses, Arkansas has a better bullpen. Now LSU's got the experience, they've got the national championship resume, and frankly, they displayed that this past Saturday night. But for Arkansas, an opportunity to either knock them out tonight or beat the Bruins and get a rematch with them come Wednesday, it's attractive. And there's a reason a lot of Arkansas fans are still here in Omaha, because they feel like this team has a chance to go on a run. Now they've got to have a performance, not necessarily pitching wise, but like Gage had. You're not going to see that again for probably another 50, 60 years, to be frank. But there's a lot of guys on this team that can make some noise. And guys, we'll see what happens later on at 6, and hopefully we get through at least a few innings tonight.
So, Tye, I gotta let's rewind it back to yesterday here, because I'm just fascinated by the whole Gage Wood thing. Right? I'm watching this guy. I've watched baseball for a long time. Generally, you don't see...
Teams are coming.
Sorry, guys.
That's okay.
I don't know what's going on. I guess I think a team's coming through.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's the old escort.
Yeah, a team is definitely coming. Apologize. It's got to be LSU or UCLA. Let me get inside.
No, you're all good, Tye. I'm just fascinated by sort of the mindset of and just the demeanor of a Gage Wood, right? I've watched baseball my whole life. You see relievers like that. You see relievers with that amount of fire and that amount of intensity, really hard to sustain as a starting pitcher. Didn't seem like it affected Gage Wood at all. In fact, it kind of seemed like his superpower, his ability to stay that intense for that long. Well, that and like a high 90s fastball, which certainly doesn't hurt. Like, is that... Obviously, he hadn't pitched a lot this year, but, had the shoulder injury and everything there. But, like, is that just sort of – is he always revving that high? Like, what? I was just fascinated by watching this guy who looked like he was a closer in the major leagues, but he's doing it for over the course of 3 hours.
So, Ravi, DB, you saw him kind of explode in the 8th inning after that final strikeout. And then tonight he just went ballistic. And I would have too. But Gage, really for the first 6 or 7 innings, was the most composed I've seen him. Now, part of what makes Gage Wood is because he has that fire and intensity and the up and down, and that's why he can get his fastball up in the high 90s. But that was a different Gage Wood we saw. I mean, you think about being on the brink of elimination in that setting, going up against an underdog where if you lose, a lot of people are going to point to you as the reason they lost. Fair or foul, that's what would happen. And guys, he pitched the majority of that game with like a one-run lead. It felt like Arkansas was up 10-0 yesterday. You think about for several innings, Arkansas was either just tied or up a run, and then got a few insurance runs down the stretch. But I think that's what makes it even more impressive is how he was able to stay in that level with not a huge lead.
I get the arms could potentially be a bonus with the depth, but is there a concern for what's happened so far in offensively, or do you just chalk it up to, seeing Anderson over the weekend and, listen, Murray State quality arms in terms of depth yesterday? Are there some things in there that you think better get addressed in a hurry?
Well, it better get addressed. I mean, you let 10 guys on yesterday. So I think the final number being 10. You had 4 hits against LSU, and listen, you chalk that up to a top 10 draft pick. Anderson's a dog. They got I think 4 runs on them earlier this season in Baton Rouge. So they played much better when they were in Alex Fox Stadium. But no, if they're going to actually do something here these next couple days, you've got to manage more than an average of 2 runs a game, which is what they did with 1 run against LSU and 3 yesterday. I know Dave Van Horn was like, man, if we keep pitching like he was quoted in the post game, we keep pitching like we're doing, and then the hitting comes on, this is gonna be a tough team to beat. But yeah, that element has to wake up, or this team's going back to Fayetteville either tonight or tomorrow.
We're talking with Tye Richardson of ESPN Arkansas. So Tye, as we're sitting here, obviously the pitching staff kind of starts to line up. When do you expect us to see Root again as this thing starts to play out?
Well, Gabe Gackle was quoted yesterday on one of our local.
Who had another Jim?
Yeah, he was great too.
Yeah.
People, like Anderson kind of overshadowed, just like Justin Thomas, their 9-hole hitter, got 4 hits yesterday. He was 4 for 4, but no one's talking about it because Gage had nearly a perfect game and had a no hitter. So your question about Root could be available today. I mean, based on what Dave said at practice on Sunday, he said in the next day or two. I mean, you put that into like actual what he said. It could have been yesterday, but they didn't need him. Could be today. I think what's interesting, guys, is if you're expecting this game to get rained out tonight, which based on the weather forecast, I'm going to see. I think they get in a couple innings, kind of like last night, but then you see this game play out on Wednesday morning. Do you want to waste one of your better dudes? Like, do you want to get Root? Like, Shees he's the Ohio State transfer. Do you pitch him tonight knowing that he might only get a few innings in, even if he's dealing? So I think that factors in, and regardless if it's the Bruins or the Tigers, I think that factors into the equation. It's like, man, there's a really good shot that we only get this guy in for a few innings, and then we have to pitch someone else tomorrow, which I think is a massive deal when it comes to deciding who's going to pitch tonight.
Offensively, if it's not in individual, what's the style you'll be looking for? Is it clutch hitting? Is it situational hitting? Listen, it's good arms. We're in the postseason at this stage for a reason. Guys can shove on the mound. What will the style look like if you think you're going to start to get it going?
Stop hitting into double plays. That's the biggest thing. I mean, this team is in a double plays. They hit it into a couple of them on Saturday night against Anderson, where Loy got on base via walk, via hit, and then he wasn't brought home. And then you look at yesterday again, leaving 10 guys on base, where they were able to get away with it, but it just didn't. It just wasn't enough. So when guys are on first and second or second and third, you got to bring them home. The strength of this team this season offensively has been the home run ball. That changes when you get to Omaha. The dimensions at Charles Schwab Field are a little bigger. They haven't hit as many warning track balls as I thought, but they've got to stop hitting into easy double plays. If they manage to navigate away from those, then you're going to see a much more offensively explosive team starting later on tonight and hopefully through these next couple days.
Tye, as we sit here, obviously we've got a local Omaha, Nebraska kid on your roster. What's it been like? We knew Cam Kozeal was special, well,
listen, I'll tell you a quick funny story, Tye. He played at a high school, really, really talented football program, and they had us on the ropes. We were undefeated and getting ready to play for a state championship a couple years ago. And there was a ton of talent. I don't want to be dismissive of that. But he single-handedly kept them in the game. I mean, we pressured, we blitzed, he would scramble, his accuracy. I think they were 7 of 11 on, not that I remember from, almost 3 years ago, 7 of 11 on third down conversions. They got us into overtime. And I said then, the thing that I appreciated the most about Cam was his baseball prowess was well documented. I'd seen him play since he was little. He's committed forever in high school, yet in his senior year, missing time because he was playing nationally. He was still dicing up a fairly decent team on the football field. I said, that alone, that he's willing to compete at that level and lay it on the line like that with what he has on the line, that's all I needed to know about him. I've seen him up close, in person, almost a little too much.
you're recounting some not so great.
Traumatized.
As you bring that up, I didn't even know about Cam and football. It's been well documented, as you said. It's baseball, and his dad being on the grounds crew at Charles Schwab, and obviously his connection to Rosenblatt and everything else. But I know Arkansas sure was glad to get him in the transfer portal, and he has fit in like a glove in Arkansas. He's mentioned fishing in Omaha. Oh, I don't know if you guys know this. There's a pond outside of Baum-Walker Stadium in Fayetteville, and he and his teammates, and they found some other fishing holes. And Arkansas fans love Cam not just because of what he does in the baseball field. The guy loves to fish, which I would say at least half of our population in Arkansas likes to do. So it's he's a young man that's had a lot of success in postseason too. I think he's leading the team batting average wise this postseason. I know he wants to get things rolling here in Omaha. I think he just has one hit thus far, but hopefully he could be a guy that can impact his team for days to come.
And not only can he swing it, he can spin it too. I'm just telling you, like, you go down that road. He was incredible.
He's a dog. I guess I got to get in a Cam Kozeal football wormhole this morning. We'll get to talk.
Tye, it was like 3rd and 16, 4th and
not
double
that he's
digits,
traumatized or anything.
4th and double digits. We brought the house. He broke like 7 tackles and threw a dot down the field to get him in position to get that thing to overtime. It was unbelievable. I mean, we'd stopped covering, and here we are yelling at our guys, get him to the ground, and they're looking at us like, have you seen this guy's lower? Have you seen this guy's trunk? Like,
got some wiggle thing.
He's incredible. Oh yeah, he's definitely. You said he's got some dog in him. Man, I echo that sentiment. He was incredible.
You've seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
I've seen it firsthand, and you've seen it in his high school days too. So he's had it for a while.
Yep. Well, some guys just have it.
Tye, we appreciate your time this morning. I'm sure you enjoyed your time in Omaha yesterday. Hope you continue to enjoy your time in Omaha. If you need any restaurant recommendation or anything, just hit me on DM. We got you.
All right, buddy. Thanks. And I appreciate it. I was listening to you the other day. I appreciate what you said about Omaha, just how much you enjoy it. And this is like always the time of year that other people get to experience it. So I'm hoping in 2027 Arkansas winds up here for the NCAA tournament in basketball too, because I know it's going to be back here for that.
Well, hey, we'll have you back on in 2027 as well. We love talking to you.
Appreciate it, Tye.
All right, boys. See you.
Woo!